Goodness. Oh, yeah, I'm from Kansas City. I'm wearing my Chiefs mask. How's everybody doing tonight? You ready to have a good time? Are you ready to have a good time tonight? Yeah, me too. So let's get this over with so we can get out of here and party. Remember during the this is crazy time pandemic. Remember when the lockdown were and the only thing we could do was drive around? Here's the deal. I don't like driving around. Well, for one thing, I have trouble with signs. There's a freeway near where I live. They're doing construction. There's a sign there. Listen, I don't want to hit a highway worker, but if I do, you'll give me $10,000? Fine. And near where I live is a car dealership, and there's a stop sign in the middle of their parking lot, and below it there's another sign that says heavy pedestrian traffic. See, I think that's an insult to skinny pedestrians. What are you supposed to do when you see a skinny one? Instead of stopping, you're supposed to speed up and try to hit them? Do you get extra points because they're kind of skittish? Sign at the mall got me in trouble the other day. It said 15-minute parking. I said, man, that's convenient. So I parked there, spent an hour looking for a store called 15 Minute. Never did find it, which is too bad because sometimes I'd like to have a 15-minute store. You know, when I want to watch a football game, not the whole thing, just the fourth quarter. 15-minute store would come in handy for my career. Because I want to be famous, you know, have fame, but not for a long stretch of time. Anyway, so I gave up, went back to my car. There's a guy sitting there waiting to park, and he says, hey, pal, can't you read the sign? I said, I know, right? I'm as upset as you are. Then we were both confused. Sign outside my gas station says, attendant on duty cannot open safe. All right, but don't rub it in. We don't need a sign for everything this poor guy can't do. Attendant on duty can't go 5 minutes without looking at his phone. Attendant on duty can't hold down a job long enough to move out of his parents' basement. Come on, guy feels bad enough working at a gas station. I saw a sign outside a fast food chicken place that said open Sundays. That's it? Just Sundays? I ain't make any money doing that. So I went over there. They were working out of the back of a Chick-fil-A. I said, oh, well, that makes sense. Anyway, the other reason I don't like driving around is my car is starting to fall apart. The speedometer stopped working. But I took care of that. I bought a pitch pipe. And now I use those bumps on the side of the highway. You know, you roll over them to make a noise. Those drunk bumps. You know what I'm talking about. Kids call them Twitter strips. They're right there. I use those to see how fast I'm going. Get out the pitch pipe. That's a C. That's about 50 miles an hour. That's a D. That's about 60 miles an hour. But if I roll over them and I hear, not sure how fast I'm going, but I think somebody owes me $10,000. So I'm thinking about getting a new car, but I can't decide between a Nissan Maxima and a Nissan Altima, so I think I'll compromise and get a Nissan Maltima. But it only comes in vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry. Because it's a Maltima. They have a keyboard on the steering wheel so you can text while you're driving because it's made for multitasking. Because it's a Maltima. You can get the steering wheel on the left or the right because it's multilateral. You know why? Say it with me. Because it's a Maltima. Okay, one more. You can get the onboard computer to speak to you in one of several languages because it's multilingual. That's it. You know why, everybody? Because it's a Multima. That's just silly, is what that is. That's just very silly. Now, let me tell you how comedians' brains work. We have bits. You've heard my bit on driving around. But occasionally we have just these random thoughts that aren't part of any bit. Here are some now. If you took a blue whale and laid it on a football field with its nose on one goal line, you'd have to reschedule that game. What exactly is a cold-blooded killer? Someone who murders reptiles? See, because they're cold-blooded, so it would... I like coffee, but if I drink too much, I realize there are tiny spiders under my scalp weaving hair. Speaking of spiders, the other day I found a spider in my sock drawer, which was very disturbing because it belongs in the spider drawer. Found a spider in my kitchen, but instead of killing it, I just started telling it about my fantasy football team, and it left quietly on its own. By the way, how can it be fantasy football if there are no unicorns? I like Facebook. The other day, a lady posted she was looking for a plumber to replace her water heater. I posted that it would be better to replace her water heater with another water heater. A lady posted that she'd found some cinnamon buns to die for. I posted that if she ate enough of them, they'd be to die from. A friend posted that she'd found a weighted blanket. I posted that at my age, every blanket is a weighted blanket. It's okay, I recovered. Another friend posted, "What makes you smile?" I posted, "Facial muscles." When I was a teenager, I was in a gang. We called ourselves the Electrical Workers Union 412. Our gang color was bright orange. We wore hard hats backwards because we were rebels. Our gang symbol was the same symbol utility companies used to indicate where to install a street light. And let me tell you, our neighborhood, very well lit. Coming down here, drove down from Kansas City yesterday. I ate an entire can of Pringles. Very disappointing. There were only 3 of them, and they were all tennis ball flavored. In nursing homes, the code word for toilet is mustard, specifically gray poupon. Gray poupon. Gray poupon. My cousin's an ornithologist. His specialty is the hoot owl, but he's discovered some other rare owls. He's discovered the cute owl. Instead of going, whoo, whoo, it goes, aw, aw. He's also discovered the toot owl. Don't get ahead of me on this one. Instead of going, whoo, it goes, and that is my only fart joke. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. You're too kind. Thank you so much. Thank you. Taking It to the Streets by the Doobie Brothers. That's my favorite song about trash day. My son said he was proud of me because he'd understood I'd started listening to rap music. I said, no, You misunderstood. What I said was, last time I fell, I heard my hip pop. I heard my hip pop. I heard my hip pop. Apparently, it's inappropriate to RSVP to a wedding invitation with, sorry, I can't make it, maybe next time. Apparently, it's inappropriate to take a sofa that's sitting by the curb if it's in front of a furniture store. Yeah, I know that now. Here's a news flash. I'm old. Old age is the unfortunate side effect of not dying. Sorry. Yeah, woo! Besides, I have all the signs of old age. I occasionally get the day of the week from my pillbox. Would you look at that? It's already F. Seems like just yesterday it was W. Where does the time go? And I don't worry about the long-term effects of anything. I don't. The other day I was reading about an article about the long-term effects of cell phone use on that. I don't care. Not my problem. And I'm starting ending conversations with my children with I love you, because let's face it, at this point, every conversation is potentially my last conversation. The other day I was on the phone with my daughter, and in the conversation I said, I love you. She said, I love you too. And just for fun, I said, I love you more. And she said, I wouldn't be surprised. Doesn't seem right. And I've started going to venues that cater to my demographic. There's a new one in Kansas City. It's not a biker bar or country western bar. It's a fiber bar. It's nice. All the tables are wheelchair accessible. It's well lit. A little Barry Manilow playing in the background. They have a limited a la carte menu, but they do have tapioca, broth, pudding, basically anything that can be eaten with or without teeth. And at the bar, they have a full complement of vitamin waters, herbal teas, but their signature drink is Jell-O shots made with lime Jell-O and prune juice. Yeah, they call it the shooter. And I've started using the phrase kids these days. Kids these days are always showing us their underwear. You see a young man walking down the street in the summer, you see his underpants pooching out there. Young women always showing us their bra straps. I don't get it. Because nobody wants to see an old man's underwear. I said, nobody wants to see an old man's underwear. You do? You want to see underwear? I got your underwear right here, pal. You want to look old and young at the same time? Boom! Thank you.